SteelBeast installs a folder with manuals and other documentation to allow users of all experience levels to learn and understand the many features of SteelBeast and how to properly utilize them. These files are installed by default in the folder that SteelBeast is installed in on your PC. Note that there are several different manuals and documents available. Some are written by eSIM Games, while others are from third parties. All serve the purpose of guiding the user in how to tailor their SteelBeast experience to better serve their goals using the software. While many of these documents have been present historically in SteelBeast, they are subject to change. This video describes the current situation. Future versions of SteelBeast will have newer versions of documents, or have them organized in a different way. Nevertheless, the basic principles in this video shall remain relevant in the future, namely that there is a significant amount of extra information available of which you might not be aware. From this perspective, the best first stop for any new user to SteelBeast is the official SteelBeast Pro manual found here. Note that this document is in English, but translated versions in other languages can be found in their respective folders per language. The SteelBeast Pro manual contains a wealth of information about how SteelBeast works, with chapters organized around topics that range from the administrative, or PC setup specific, to the basic controls of different kinds of units in the simulation, to the very specific topics like network sessions, planning troop movement, and calling support on the map, designing missions, importing maps, and many more, as shown here. This manual also provides several appendices about gunnery topics, tank tactics, battlefield hazards, armor technology, and the challenges of simulating true-to-life armored combat. These appendices are expanded upon with additional detail in standalone documents, in English, in the same docs folder as well. These separate documents provide in-depth analysis of selected combat systems and advice for period-appropriate ammunition selection for mission designers. This comprehensive manual is the recommended way to answer all basic questions about how SteelBeast works, along with our fine tutorial videos complementing that curriculum, of course. In fact, key topics from this manual are covered in our tutorial video library, and these video offerings are being expanded to complement the user's manual comprehensively. Additionally, the SteelBeast Wiki, available at steelbeast.com/sbwiki, provides additional detail on specific weapon systems, features topics that may frequently be updated, and additional user interface instructions that would otherwise be excessive for the main SteelBeast manual. One best practice in your initial step in answering any questions you might have is to search the SB Pro manual using the Find function, Control F, in the document reader, such as Adobe Acrobat, Microsoft Word, or your web browser, and typing in the keyword most relevant to your question. In this example, doing a search for the word breach or breaching brings up the part of the manual addressing this operation in SteelBeast. After reading the SteelBeast Pro manual, the next recommended route would be to do the in-game tutorial missions available in SteelBeast in combination with the manual to learn specific vehicles. In some cases, there are standalone vehicle-specific manuals that are available to supplement this course of study. These manuals are very helpful when it comes to vehicles that have a large amount of options and the systems that are being simulated in SteelBeast. SteelBeast simulates the full spectrum of combined arms on the battlefield, and this includes infantry, heavy weapons, ATGMs, and air attack and observation platforms. Additionally, there are specific tasks, such as breaching minefields, whose in-sim tutorials are supplemented with written materials. While some of these topics are also already covered in the official SteelBeast manual, eSIM Games provides additional documentation to allow easy access to dedicated instruction on many of these units and operations. The main folder to look for many of these specific manuals is the Tutorial PDFs folder, which covers these notable topics among others. Additionally, in the root docs folder, there is a manual called specialisttutorial.pdf, which provides a compilation of many of the topics covered as separate documents in the Tutorial PDFs folder, as well as a handy keyboard reference chart. Speaking of keyboard reference charts, in the PDFs for print folder, there are PDF documents, easily printable, thus the title of the folder, including printable keyboard reference charts in multiple languages. As a SteelBeast user, having a reference for what maps come with the simulation can be very helpful. To meet this need, the SB Maps PDF document gives a complete list of what maps come by default with SteelBeast. Additionally, for those users exploring the topic of maps and learning how to create them, the Map Object Catalog folder provides references in the form of images and web pages that show various objects available for map making. Not everyone who is a SteelBeast user is familiar with NATO map symbology. Not to worry, we have a guide for you in the Docs folder entitled STANAG 2019 App 6C MS2525C. This document will explain the map symbols used in SteelBeast, as well as common acronyms and abbreviations. Finally, for those users who are using professional tools to create and import maps for SteelBeast, the TerraSim folder may be of interest and features promotional materials that explain what that particular software suite can do to enhance the map import process. eSIM Games strives to provide the materials our users need to fully utilize SteelBeast. Please provide any feedback on these materials, requests for manuals and tutorial videos, or any questions to our user forums at steelbeast.com. Thank you.